Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. Um, it's a nice day here. Oh, I forgot. I still have my keys in my pocket. Um, Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you are having a relaxing day, or at least a non-wild day. Um, My day's been a little bit wild. I've been doing a lot of phone calls, a lot of trying to reach people and not reaching people, a lot of on hold today, just a lot of stuff going on. But such is the day of a business owner, right? Sometimes these things happen and we just have to deal with them. And that's what I did. That's what I did today. So I also did a lot of packing and shipping. I got some packages out the door. I got some more packages to go out the door tomorrow for some of you all out there. Thank you so much for all of your support. We really do appreciate it. If you're out there, please say hi. Let's see, Susie is here, our neighbor. Thank you for joining us. I also sent in I sent a screenshot of what my screen looks like because I keep talking about how they're giving us less and less room to actually see your comments. And I started it up today and I was so hopeful because I was like, oh, they took away that one thing. So that should really at least help. And then as soon as I went live, it popped up. And I was like, oh, they didn't look or listen to me at all. I was hoping maybe they were getting some feedback on that, enough to make them change it. It's getting to the point where it's a little bit difficult to use, and we'll see if we continue using StreamYard. I really like the service in general, but it is incredibly difficult to see your comments or to navigate on the screen. Because they keep making the screen smaller and smaller, and our picture of what we see is actually getting smaller and smaller too. So it's really kind of but yeah, Andrew probably will not be joining us today again. He has a headache, so he is resting. I keep talking about how the living room is one of the rooms we can make the darkest in our house, so he is resting in the living room with his headache. So we probably won't see him today. You won't see me at the beginning of the show tomorrow because I will be going to my pottery class tomorrow. So he will have to start the show tomorrow, and then I usually come in the just before the showing of the goods. But how's everyone? Oh, Kimberly is here. Hello, Kimberly. You're at your son's track meet. Thank you for watching us from the track meet. We appreciate that. I guess my nephew started baseball, which I had no idea that baseball actually started already. News to me, but they already had a little practice or a game or something. So I had to switch to YouTube. Thank you for switching, doing what you need to do to be able to watch us. We appreciate it. Norma is here. Hello, Norma. Thank you for joining us. Last night, we had a lot of nice things. Y'all seem to find some good stuff, which we appreciate. I'm glad you like them. They were some of the things that I had pulled before we decided to do the Total Request Lives the other last week. And I'm glad you like them because it made it easy to do those last night. I followed that up with more items in the D-Stash group. So if you've not tuned into some of our lives here recently, I reran some of the items in the D-Stash group last night. So if you missed anything or you simply didn't see them, if you weren't ready for them then, I ran some of the things through the D-Stash again. So you can check those out. The D-Stash claiming will probably end tomorrow night. So you'll have until then to claim, and then we've got to call that. I'll be sending out invoices for those of you who grab some stuff probably later tonight or tomorrow morning. But yeah, that was last night. Andrew made us some dinner. We used some of our leftovers. I was talking about, I have no idea what we were going to have for dinner last night, but we used some of our leftovers, and then we made some more fake chicken, and we made some really good, Andrew made some really good soft tacos with all that. So it was really good. I don't know what we're going to have tonight since he has a headache. maybe some pasta. I might make some pasta, or stir fry. There's stuff for stir fry in there too. So what'd you all eat? Have you all eaten yet? It is 7:30. It feels so early now that look, it's still light out. It feels early because it's so light out. I ran a little bit late working on some things at the cottage. I meant to get home a little bit earlier than I did today, but because the the sun's out more, it kind of threw me off. And I was watching YouTube as I have YouTube on in the background often as I pack and ship. And I had stuff on YouTube, so I was listening to that. I was in the groove, getting things together, sorting things out, and yeah, I lost track of time. So I do like that it's still light out, though. It does make me feel like I have more time in my day, even if I don't have more time in certain areas of my day right now. Let's see. Kimberly says, yeah, my other son is playing baseball and I've been walking back and forth between the events. Oh boy. So it had a hot dog at baseball. That's good, right? Norma had a hot dog too, and some chili and some cottage cheese. Still hungry. Yeah, hot dog and cottage cheese would probably not fill me up. Yeah, especially because we eat like once a day. But I did have I started the day with some cereal, and Andrew had made some um, upside down apple cake. And it wasn't pineapple, it was apple the other night. So I had some of that for breakfast and some cereal. But I'm getting hungry now. Sometimes I feel like when I eat something throughout the day, I get hungrier faster. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? I don't know. I don't know if it is. I did not get a chance to put up a banner earlier in the day, so if you're out there, please hit the share button. Let people know we are out there. I tried to share it just now, but like I said, I totally blanked on what time it was. I grabbed a bunch of stuff. I took a little bit of time to pick out some stuff that I really like. So I did do that at least, and that's one of the things that made me a little bit late. Dale says, good evening. I can't believe it's so late. Now wonder I'm hungry. No wonder I'm hungry. Yeah, I know. That's what I said too. I thought it was totally like a lot earlier in the day because it's still light outside, and it is not. It is 7:30. It's almost 7:40. I don't know where this day has gone. Well, I do know I ran a lot of errands. I had to go to the bank today. Excuse me. I had to pick up cat food today at the grocery store. So I was at the grocery store in the afternoon, at the bank. I had to go to the post office and drop things off. I also had to pick things up at the post office. Then I had to make a few phone calls, which I was on hold for some of them. So that took time. And then we had some issues in the Shopify store with something, and I won't get into all the details because it's really boring, but I had to use their chat help. So I was waiting for somebody to sit and chat with me, and they totally were not really understanding the issue. They kind of understood the issue. They didn't, like, I understood more about solving the issue than I think they did. At least explaining what was wrong and like getting what was happening, but I couldn't fix it. But thankfully they said it's fixed. They said I would get an email telling me that for sure, but I have not really. But yeah, I'm just hoping, because it has to deal with, there's nothing wrong with the store or with shipping or with orders. It's all on the receiving end of getting our money from the store when they do the deposits. So there was something that they wanted me to update something, and I updated something. And when I updated something, it broke something. So that is, I spent time on virtual chat today. I spent time calling the IRS today, which is never a fun thing to do, because I needed some information from them, and I had to ask them questions. So that was, that's never when you have to call them, that's never a fun thing. But I will say they were absolutely pleasant and nice and helped me out, and I'm very thankful for that. So I tried to make some other calls today and got a lot of voicemails. So left voicemails, and that's been my day. That's been my day. Kimberly says the hot dog was really salty, not a fan. I sometimes really love really salty foods. I can't do it too much with my heart anymore, but I was never an over salter, but every once in a while, like I'd have a day where I'd just be like, all the salt, just put the salt on it. And I think that's because your body craves it sometimes, right? If your body's craving it, your body probably needs it. If you listen to your body, it can go the wrong way. I know people who will salt their food before they even taste it. Like they just get out the salt shaker and start salting. And I'm like, it might taste okay. Maybe if you just tasted it first, it might be fine. But it's the way they are. I'm not like that, but some days, I think if you listen to your body, it'll tell you if you need the salt. And some days I feel like that happens. Norm says, cereal. I think I need to have some Cheerios. Yeah, my cereal today was, I've never been a Cheerios fan. I haven't had them in a long time though. But I've tried them a few times when I was younger. I never really understood the appeal. Now, like Honey Nut Cheerios was a little better, but I guess that it's less sugar. So for us nowadays, as we get older, probably good to eat the less sugar foods. I'm eating the Special K strawberry edition, and you would think cornflakes and strawberries, but they definitely sugar them. I can tell because they are really kind of sugary. But it's actually good. It's a good start to my day anyway when I have it, and I'm not complaining at all because even though I probably shouldn't have that sugar, I like it. So yeah. Oh, Donna's here. Hello, Donna. Oh boy, getting a lot of people in. Donna's there. Hello, Donna. That sounds really frustrating, says Kimberly. It was a little bit, but I tried to just take it, like I have super anxiety making phone calls. And so I was kind of, I gave myself the little pat on the back. I was kind of proud of myself for getting some of these things done. Some of these things were things that just needed to be done anyway. And I needed to check on some things and do some things. And I've been putting it off for sometimes, in some cases, a long time. And so I just got it done. Today. And I was glad about that. Anne says, hello, Anne. Kimberly says, and calling the IRS and tax day is a challenge all by itself. Yeah, thankfully, I had to call about my EIN, and so that's what it was. And luckily, that phone number they picked up pretty quickly. I was on hold. They said for like they 7 to 10 minutes, and I think it was less than that. And they got me my answer pretty quickly, so that was great. I was happy about that. Donna said, I'm actually caught up with my housework. That's nice. We are not, but we have started spring cleaning. And that's another thing that's really kind of helped my mood recently, is that we have started some deep spring cleaning in the house. There's certain things we can and cannot do. When I look in the back of our house from our driveway, I see what our back neighbors probably see. And they are drapes that are torn up from cats and kittens. And I'm like, this looks like the people who live in this house don't take care of anything. And that kind of bothers me. But at the same time, I know for 100%, if I put new curtains up, our cats are still going to shred them. The girls are still young enough that they would hang from the curtains. So the old curtains are still there, but we're doing things, did a deep cleaning in the dining room so far, and tried to get that really, I'm trying to organize it a little more. And we got the entryway a little bit done. We have a few things we want to move in from the garage that we had in the old store. We had some showcase cabinets, like glass cabinets, and we want to bring those into the house because we have things in the entryway that there's artwork and little tchotchkes, and we have a little table for them all, but they get sat on that table and then they never move, right? Do you have that collection place in your house? We have a few of them. And so they don't really get seen. They just get sat there, and sometimes things get sat on them and more of them get sat there, and they really just kind of don't get shown. So we have these glass cases that they're just sitting in the garage, not used for anything because we can't fit them in our current store. There's no real place for them. So we want to bring those in from the garage on a day when it's not raining. It rained. I think it held again today, honestly, at the cottage, because I heard what sounded like hail. I didn't go out to look. It only lasted a few seconds, but it sounded like it held at one point. So when it's not raining and when it's not terrible out, because it's been cold and rainy the last day or two, we're going to pull those in from the garage. But we made some space for them and did deep cleaning in the corner that they're going to go in and all that stuff. And we're going to move stuff in there. My ultimate goal is I would like to get things moved around enough and sorted out a little bit enough that we can move some of the furniture around from room to room and hopefully use the carpet scrubber, the carpet cleaner. We have a carpet cleaner that my mom gave us, and really do some cleaning of the carpets. But that you have to you need days where you can have the windows open so that they can kind of evaporate, right? So we're waiting for some nice days, but in the meantime, trying to get things cleaned up and organized and throw stuff out that we don't need and organize some things enough that we can move some stuff around. And we have, like, the entryway was full of stuff. And so we're cleaning that out, throwing some stuff out so that we can move some of, like, the sofas and TV stand and bookcases and stuff maybe in there while we do a deep clean on the living room and get the carpets cleaned and all that. It's just been something we've been wanting to do for a while and haven't had a chance to do it. And hopefully maybe this is the spring, I'm hoping, that we can maybe do that. So that's our housework stuff. I'm glad you're caught up, Donna. Donna says, my ex poured it on literally. I'm not a fan of salt. I love salt for some parts, but like I said, there's a place for everything, right? There's a time and place for everything. Nora says, yep, honey nut cheers. Okay, that I can see. Michelle is here. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for joining us. Says, woohoo, says Donna. I'm getting a bucket of fresh Chilton County strawberries tomorrow. Going to bake a pie for a get together on Thursday. I have a fruit stand about 2 miles from my house. Nice. You know what? I was listening to I listen to a radio station on the way home usually, or sometimes it's late at night when I'm going back and forth to the cottage after we sometimes after we do the lives and stuff. And last night, because I was at the cottage, was I at the cottage? I think I was. Last night I did the live from the cottage. I was driving home and John Tesh comes on, and John Tesh sometimes has these health things. Excuse me. And one of these things that he talked about was strawberries. Apparently, strawberries have something in them that helps with your health as far as I missed part of it, but it was that there are markers in things like, I guess, in milk with the animal products, the fat animal products, whatever they are. There's something in strawberries that negates that negative health effect on your body. And so apparently eating lots of strawberries can be very good for you, depending on the other kinds of foods you eat. I don't know that it was mostly with plant-based stuff, but with animal fats, some of the bad parts of that, the strawberry, there's something in the strawberry that contradicts some of the bad things in that. That just reminded me of that as you said strawberries. So strawberries are good for you apparently in multiple ways. Michelle says, we took a small break from our cleaning and changing everything everyone needed. Nice. Donna says, I'll be behind again next week. I've got a big show that I have to set up for next Thursday. And the show is Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday from 9 to 3. Nice. 9 to 5 and 9 to 3. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. It's nice that shows are starting back up. People are getting out there again. It's always good to see. And I like to see what shows y'all are doing and what's happening with y'all. Kim is here, says, I have beads on different tables and places. Oh, don't you know it? I don't think there's a single surface in our house that does not have some kind of bead on it. Whether it's for decoration because it's a nice bead and we're it's there for looks, or it's a working bead and it's being used to make something at some point in time. That's kind of life around here. It's kind of life. Every surface, as I look around now, I'm like, yep, 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 yep. All these surfaces in here have beads. Susan is here. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Going through comments. Everyone's saying hi. Suzanne is here. Hello, Suzanne. We missed you yesterday. Thanks for joining us today. Glad you could make it. Anne says, I threatened in my own head to rent a carpet cleaner and do my carpets. I'd really rather get new flooring, but that's a long-term maybe project. That's the thing, is we keep putting off doing the carpets because, our house is old. There's not much, like, there are carpets and then there's like the wood under the carpets, and it's not a good enough wood to make into a wooden floor. It's a subfloor for sure. And so I keep thinking, I'm like, these are such old carpets anyway, because they came with the house and they've been here for a while. And I'm like, maybe we should just wait and get new floor. And that's not going to happen anytime soon. I mean, it could. I mean, I'm not putting. I'd love to manifest new flooring in our whole house. So if anyone wants to do that for us for low cost, okay. But chances are I can afford the carpet cleaner solution and pulling out the carpet scrubber a lot easier and a lot faster than we're going to get new flooring. So I feel that. I definitely feel that, Anne. And it feels like such a big job to move everything around, because you've got to move everything out of the room, right? So you can get all of the carpet. You can't like, when you vacuum around things, you vacuum kind of under things, you vacuum, but when you clean the carpet, you need to clean the carpet. So you got to move everything, and then you've got to do it, and then you've got to wait for it to dry. Sometimes do it again, right? Depending on how thorough you're going to be. So, and then it can take days to dry. So while we are used to having a lot of furniture around our house, since we closed the store and do have a lot of furniture around that's being used, probably not in the best manner, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I don't want to do it, but we need to do it. It's one of those things. Like, I know it will feel so much better if we run the carpet scrubber and clean the carpets and let them dry and then put stuff back. And as we're putting stuff back, get rid of the things we don't want. Like, the whole thing will feel good, because when I did the dining room and when we did the entryway, and both of them are like half done. We've only done like half done. It still felt so much better. That night, I went to sleep and I slept like a rock. And I don't know if that was just like tension releasing or karma flowing. Not karma, but what do you call it? The energy flowing, the feng shui flow, letting that energy flow through better again, whatever it was. I slept so good. And I'm like, I need that. Period. I need that. Susan says, I need to clean up our bedroom closet. Need to set aside where I won't be interrupted. Yeah, that's something that's on my mind too, is our bedroom. Our bedroom needs a thorough going through too, and the closets need a going through. A lot of the stuff in our bedroom closet haven't even, like, I have boxes there. I brought boxes home when my grandmother passed. We were cleaning out her house, and I packed things in boxes and I brought them home and I put some of them in our bedroom closet, and they have never been looked at since. And I mean, this is a few years ago now. It's not super long ago, but if it's been a few years, and I just need to get that stuff out. And I was talking to my mom the other day. We're both very sentimental people, and but we were laughing because I said my grandmother, a lot of the stuff that I took because I remember it from her. But a lot of the stuff that I remember was stuff that she also never got out, and it was stored somewhere. So I remember looking in a cabinet and seeing it there, and that's as far as it went. So I am continuing that by having something in a place where it's barely ever used or seen for sentimental reasons of being sentimental about it never being used, right? So it's kind of funny how that works. And so I need to look at the stuff that I actually got and decide if it's worth it or not to keep or pass on to somebody, offer to the family first, and then pass it on if not. Because I know some of the things that I took, I remember my grandmother saying I should just get rid of those. It was something that wasn't like dear to her, but because it reminds me of her house and her place and just their life together. In my childhood, in a lot of cases, I took it. But yeah, it's one of those things. So I need to do some purging like that too. And the bedroom closet is definitely one of those places that needs a purge. I think there's clothes in there from when we came back from New York. I have not been able to fit in those clothes in many, 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 many years. So yeah. Donna says, that is interesting. I love strawberries, and my blueberry bush is loaded again. That's nice. Our blueberry bush is trying. I think it got a little bit frosty at one point, but I think it's budding finally. So we'll see what we get from it this year. We'll see. Last year, I think, was a pretty good year, if I remember, for the blueberries. I had that the year before. So it usually takes a rest. Sometimes every other year, it kind of rests. Or it'll go crazy 2 years and then a year it'll rest. So we might be in a rest year for it. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Sorry, my comments just jumped. So it said set aside a day. Yeah, need to do it. Kimberly says, sounds like my house. There are beads in every room of my house. Yeah, I mean, if it's not beads, it's artwork of some sort or a project of some sort. We're into a lot of mixed media, different things. And so, like, the dining room has beads and polymer clay, and the living room has beads and paper and paint. The office here is mostly beads, but some of my Cricut is up here, so there are vinyl things up here, and soon we're going to have in the basement beads and pottery. So yeah, even the kitchen is not, there are beads or things sitting on sometimes on the kitchen counters because we come in the back door often and that comes into the kitchen, so the counter gets things dropped there. So usually the beads are in the kitchen because they are like, I'm done with them for the lives here and I've sorted everything out, so they got to go back to the cottage and get put away. Yeah, it's like no room is immune. Susan says the same with our floors, William. Also need to paint. Yeah, I know. It's like we should paint too. We painted we painted our kitchen cabinets, and we painted the bathroom and took down a bunch of wallpaper in the bathroom when we moved in. And that's as much as we've really done as far as painting in the house. It was in good shape, but we did have ideas of what we wanted to do. So we'll see. We'll see. The kitchen or the dining room is kind of this bright yellow. And while I like it, it's also starting to fade, and we've had some pictures hung, and there were some things from the family who were here before. And, they had some outlines on things, and we've cleaned them up as much as we can, but it's just faded stuff. So we really wanted to paint that, but it's hard to paint with 5 cats. It's just, and our kitchen and dining room are one big area. We've put a bookcase in the middle to kind of subdivide it, but it's all open. So if we paint the dining room, there's no way, really, it would be very difficult to put up something to keep the cats out of there. And while the paint fumes probably would not want to be around them, that is where they're used to being. They look out the windows and they watch the birds, and they've watched some robins build some nests. And so it's a big thing. But we should paint as well. We should paint as well. Michelle says, beads in the bedroom on my shelf, beads in the living room, everywhere right now, right? Hubby's going to buy a bunch of stuff for my delicas and sea beads so I can find them. That's good. Organize, right? Sorry, that was... Oh, I just learned something. So with their redo of our user interface here, I was like, I have no idea how to block anyone anymore. They got rid of the little dots. There used to be 3 dots on every single comment that would allow me to tap on them and block them. But now, when we used to tap on someone's comment, it would show it right on the screen. Now when I tap on a comment, it allows us to delete, block user, star the comment, or show it. That's nice. I kind of like that one. I like that. Suzanne says, I can't believe how many items we've gotten rid of. I long for that kind of. I do. I want to get rid of stuff. I'm feeling it. It's been making me feel the more cleaning we've been doing and the more kind of deep cleaning we've started doing, I just want to get rid of stuff. My mom and I were talking about this too. My mom, since she retired, has been in her house more, obviously, because she can spend time there instead of going to work every day. And she said the old thing where they say a place for everything and everything in its place has truth to it, because she said she has a kitchen island, and she would just come home and she would dump stuff on the kitchen island, and it was kind of more of a repository for stuff than it was to eat at or anything like that. So she bought this little kitchen shelf that she put together. She put a little hook in her kitchen. She has a little closet in her kitchen for her bag. And she said once she put that little shelf in and she put a little hook for her bag goes on the hook. Things that go on the shelf go on the shelf. The mail goes on the shelf. Like all this stuff that once you have a place for it, it works that way. Our problem is we have more stuff than we have appropriate places for it. And so I would like to get rid of stuff until we find that balance of having enough stuff and enough places to put all the stuff. That's what I would like to do. But I only have so much energy, and sometimes the energy for reorganizing the house is not there, right? I think we all feel that sometimes. It's just not there sometimes. And that is, I'm in a mood right now lately to be doing some of this stuff, and it makes me feel good to do it. But sometimes I just don't have it. The last few days I've been very busy between the lives and shipping and packing and doing the destashes and doing some other things that we're doing for the house and cleaning. I'm starting to feel the energy decrease. I need to get a little bit more rest. I need to get to bed a little bit earlier. Kind of force myself to go to bed earlier. I'm a night person. It's very hard for me to go to bed, but I love sleep. You would think it'd be easy because once I get in bed, I'm like, oh, I love sleep. So I gotta remind myself that I love sleep a little earlier. And sorry if I sound nasally. I'm suffering from the allergies are starting, I think. Does anyone else have to do a bead sweep after beading? Of course. Says I drop things. Yes, you got to make sure you get the beads before you get out the vacuum. We inevitably, when I vacuum, every time I vacuum, we have a Shark vacuum, and I love it. I highly recommend it. If you are looking for a good vacuum, we've had our Shark vacuum for well, ever since we moved into this house. We bought it when we moved into this house. We actually bought it when we were moving out of our old apartment because we needed a better vacuum. We wanted to, we wanted to clean everything well before we moved out. And we wanted a good vacuum to get the cat hair out of the carpet because the vacuum we had did okay, but it was not great. So I researched and researched and researched. And we got this Shark vacuum that is a pet. It's rated for pets. It's made for pets. And I will tell you, it is fantastic. But it has this chamber in it. So when things come up, if you sweep something up or vacuum something up, the beads go in that chamber and they spin around. So I hear this sound every time I hit a bead, and it bangs around in there. But it does generally allow me to save a good bit of our beads that we that we drop and don't ever find. Kim says, I do, and they are under the couch, and then they are under the couch, right? Michelle says, I always drop things. My son just rolls his eyes every time I do. Sue says, if my hub finds an errant bead, he puts them on my bead board. Nice. Michelle says, I get handed each bead my family finds. It's funny. Here you go. Here you go. Donna says, yeah, my bedroom closet needs purging too. I started but had to stop. Sometimes it's too much. Too much for one time. Angela's here. Says, so glad to be here. Thank you for joining us, Angela. They find it and tell me to deal with it, says Michelle. Nice. You need to make a place in the house, drop errant beads here, so that you can just collect them all when they're done. Donna says, my bedroom and studio are full of beads and stuff. My living room has a lot of stones and crystals, and some in my bedroom and guest room. The den has a lot of stones and crystals. My dad's oil still life and watercolor painting by a Birmingham artist. Nice. Suzanne says, it's hard to paint with 2 cats. I bet. I was wondering how you were all doing with the cats and the painting. I'm sure it's not easy. Look at my hair. My hair is going wild today. I must have slept hard on it. It just wants to go this way. So I'll let it do it, whatever it wants to do. Yeah, I 2 cats would be enough. 5 cats, I don't know how we would. I never know how we're going to ever paint again. Angela says, I cannot imagine painting with cats. I know, right? Susan says, I think the hawks in my neighbor's tree have new babies. Cute. That or dogs, says Donna, right? Susan says, William, the drooping energy gets worse as you get older. I'm not completely decrepit, but I still get tired more easily. Yeah, I can tell that in myself. I mean, I've always been a kind of reserved energy person. Like, I can have bursts of energy, but they don't always last long. And that's kind of been the way I was. I mean, when I was a kid, of course, as a kid, you have energy all day long. But like even in high school, in college, I could do things for a short burst of time, but I think that also plays into like anxiety, depression too, that my moods determine my energy quite a lot. And so when I'm in a good mood and when I'm doing well and I feel mentally well, and feel like I can do things then, and I have a lot of energy sometimes to do those things. But my energy can go, and usually it's my mental energy before my physical energy. For to be honest, I'm an overthinker, and they talk about how much every decision you make and everything you think about like burns some of your energy. And I definitely suffer from that. I definitely burn through, I think, a lot of my daily energy just overthinking and thinking about everything too much. But I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to be more in the moment. I've realized that they always talk about you should be in the now, and the now is where I realized that if you actually can do that, if you figure that out, which I've not figured completely out yet, but if you can figure out how to be in the now, you do save a lot of time because you don't think about so much other stuff, and save a lot of energy too. Michelle says, OMG, it takes so much energy to change everything in your place, to go through every single piece of clothing to see if it fits, if you still wear it, if If you don't, it goes. Yeah, I know. And having a business that takes over your house is even harder because you don't have just the day-to-day stuff, right? You have all the business stuff. I have the business paperwork. Do I really need to keep? Got to go through every one of these pieces of paper. Do I really need to keep them? Can I throw them out? Do I have them digitized? Did I not digitize them yet? Do I have them somewhere where I can find them again? Can I throw? It's all that, and then it overwhelms me just thinking about it, and then I don't do it. If I just do a little bit, even a little bit, and that's what I'm trying to tell myself nowadays. I used to get overwhelmed with just the thought, so I wouldn't start. I would truly get overwhelmed thinking about how much there is to do, and I would wear myself out. And now I'm trying to remind myself, even if you do a little bit, it's more than you've done before. It's more than was done a few seconds ago, and it will make progress. Because I wear myself out thinking that everything has to be done now. I have to get through that whole thing. I have to get through that whole room. I have to clean that entire room tonight. That's my thought process. Tonight I'm cleaning the dining room, and that means organizing it, deep cleaning it, scrubbing it, moving the furniture around, all that kind of stuff. I get like that, and I'm trying to learn not to be so minded like that. Instead, I'm just like, you will clean what you can clean tonight, and you will do a little bit more when you feel like doing a little bit more. And at least you make progress that way. Sue says, how do the cats react to the vacuum cleaner? Ours hate it. They're all different. The majority of them, because the Shark vacuum it's not loud. Like, I think our other vacuum was louder, but of course it's a vacuum, and it's a strong vacuum. Like, if you get our cats play with strings. If a string gets in that vacuum, it sucks the whole thing up. Like, it's easy to get out. It unwinds pretty easily, but it will suck it up in no time. It'll take entire, like, if there's a sock on the floor, it will suck up the sock. Like, it's a good vacuum. So it's powerful, and it does make some noise. Most of the cats do not like it. Most will sit and watch from afar. Gilbert wants nothing to do with it. He goes in the other room and shuts the door. Like, he wants nothing to do with the vacuum. Tallulah, though, is one that she will lay on the floor right beside it when not right beside it, but it takes a lot. She'll let it get a lot closer to her than anyone else will. And she's just like, I know you're controlling it. I trust you. But yeah, she's the one that she doesn't really. She's the only cat, really, I think we've ever had that just really doesn't mind the vacuum. Paolo never really liked it at all. Babette, she didn't care as much, but Tallulah, she could lay right in front of it, pretty much. Lennis is here. Hello, Lennis. Anna's lurking too. Thank you so much for lurking. Let's see. Susan says, once again, I have to clean up my desk for the make-along. Yeah, ours is, this one needs to be cleaned as well, for sure. Dale said, I saw a small handheld craft vacuum yesterday. I want a pretty glass bowl for errant beads when I find them, right? Just throw them in there. That's what I need to get, is to have one of those, so that we can have a place to put them all, because we do have a lot of them. We open packages here at the house, and sometimes beads fall out, and we make mixes, and sometimes they go. So it'd be nice to, I should have a place. Instead, they get put whatever room I'm in, they get an area for them, and then you've got a little errant bead area in every room too. Yeah. Donna says, I literally have art in every room in my house. We do too. We have a lot of art in every room, and we have art still to be, it's like piled in piles in certain areas, mostly in the guest room now because the cats don't go in there. But in the guest room closet, we have art piled that has not been framed or needs to be framed, or just don't have room for it anywhere else. So we have a lot of art that we're talking about going through our art collection and possibly selling some of it off too. We'll see. Let's see. Lena says, yes, when I lose the mental energy, I organize or comfort read. Yeah, I could see that. I usually don't. I have to watch TV or like do something that zones out. Reading is too much for me when I lose the mental energy. Because when I read, it's not. I'm getting better, but generally when I read, it's not relaxing. I am getting to a point where I'm doing it enough more often that it does help, but it's still brain work for me. So like listening to music, zoning out, or watching TV, that's usually my when my mental energy is gone, that's what I end up doing. That's why at the end of every night, pretty much we watch something on TV because my brain is done. It's done, and it needs to be done. It needs to be allowed to be done. Donna says, Dale, I have two bowls, one that Harry made. I have my check glass button collection. The other is a simple glass with brass fittings a friend gave me. Nice. Oops. Sorry, comments jumped. Lena says, oof, me too. Not sure what that one was about, but I probably feel that one. That reminds me of a stack of junk mail to go through and recycle. No, says Susan, right? It's never ending, right? Suzanne says, our cats have not used the litter boxes in the laundry room since the new appliances. Oh boy. Yeah. They don't like change very often. And that's the other thing that's happening is we moved some things around in the um, dining room and the entryway. And when I was cleaning the floors, I used a new cleaning detergent that we haven't used before. And Barnaby kept trying to jump up and stay on my shoulder. He did not want to be on the ground when I was cleaning down there. And they were they'd walk in and they didn't like the things moved around so much. But they're getting used to it now, at least. Let's see. Lennis's comfort read is rereading the same thing. If I'm stressed, I do not like new books with new characters. I understand that for sure. Anyway, I need a drink. I've been talking so much, talking your ears off, y'all. This certainly isn't a day where we're starting the sale before the talk, since I've been talking for an hour already. But I think it's fun. It helps to realize we're all in the same boat. I've talked about this a little bit before too, how I think sometimes we feel like other people's houses are always so, well kept and always like they have their cleaning schedule and everything is always in its place. And I think the more you talk to people, most people, they ain't got time for that. It's not a thing. Most people have a little bit of they have a messy area in their house and they have a place that that their house is lived in. I think that's the thing. Most people we know, their houses are lived in, and I prefer that. I would rather go to someone's house that it feels lived in than go to someone's house that feels like a museum. It's just not that comfortable. If something feels lived in, you're not afraid to sit on the couch. You're not afraid to, pull up a chair and hang out or drink a cup of coffee or, it's, I think it's more comfortable. And I think that talking about these things, even though they seem like kind of mundane things, and they are, but it lets you know that other people are like you, right? Sometimes we look around and I'm like, we got beads everywhere. This is a disaster. And then you realize a lot of y'all got beads everywhere, right? And it's okay. It's all right. It's not a disaster. It's just a work in progress. And life is a work in progress, right? And yeah, so anyway, let's get this show started. Let's look at some beads and some pendants. And I don't know what I've gotten here. Mostly beads, I think, today. I pulled these with some intention, but I also have been doing so much, it went in like one eye and out the other. I don't remember everything. I remember some that I pulled, but not everything. So let's take a look. Anybody got anything going on? Don was talking about doing a show soon. Anybody else got anything going on? Anybody else doing any shows out there? Planning? Got anything happening? Anybody going to any concerts? Anybody doing anything fun? Some of y'all been talking about your kids have games or the grandkids have games. Like I said, my mom went to a baseball practice or a scrimmage or something. I didn't even realize baseball had started yet. So there you go. And it's already happening. It's already happening. How's that? How is that? How does that happen? It doesn't even feel like spring's here yet. It's been so cold here. Suzanne says, no shows, just painting and the road race. Nice. That's busy, though. That's keeping you busy, right? It's keeping you busy. Okay. These are going to be TT lots for our Tantalizing Tuesday. I don't know how tantalizing these are. I hope they're very tantalizing for y'all, but we'll see. Let's see how many of these I have. 1, 2. I've got 2 of these available. These were 14, and I think that was low. We'll do them for 12. And these are some lovely, lovely. Oh, let me move this light. I used to be at the cottage. I've been doing the cottage stuff for a while. It feels weird to be here. And I didn't miss that. I did not miss not having lights that, sat where they're supposed to sit. This is beautiful amethyst. These are amethyst rounds. Really pretty quality, but inexpensive. They're not, we're doing them at $12 a strand. And, oh, this caliper, though, at least works without giving me too much grief. 6 millimeters. And these strands are 16-inch strands. Oh, beautiful amethyst. And what I like about this is this actually has some of the matrix still with it. It's a good quality amethyst stone, but it also has mixed in with some of the matrix, the browns and kind of the whites that grow with the amethyst. I like that in a stone. Some people, they just want the pure stone, and there's a time and place for that too. But I really enjoy when they're mixed like this, especially with amethyst, because I just think it's so pretty together. Some of my favorite combinations are kind of this beigey tan with the purples. I just think it's so pretty. Let's see. Donna says, I took out my Pisces pendant and started the process of laying out the pearls and vintage pink coral chips for my stash. And the gorgeous mother of pearl and black shell beads from AG. It's coming along nicely. Nice. Good. I like to hear that. Can't wait to see how it looks. Don't forget, everybody, I sent out an email today with the link. The Creative Make-Along is this Friday. What? It's happening already? Yes, it's happening already. The Creative Make-Along this Friday from 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time until 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll hang out on Zoom and make fun stuff together, I hope. We'll see. We'll see what I get into making, what I don't get into making. All right. This one was 32. Take it down to 26 for y'all. Just do a deal. He's probably going to yell at me. But he's not here. He's suffering right now, unfortunately, with a headache. But, can't yell at me. These are hand-carved stone. I don't know what kind of stone, to be 100% honest with you. I'm not sure if it's a jade, but they are hand carved and they are lovely. Susan says, okay, I got so inspired by this talking, I just folded up the last load of laundry, cleaned out my juice cup, and unmade the bed. Yay me. Nice. Nice. Susan says, I hope he feels better soon. Those headaches are awful. Yeah, and he's been having them like day after day after day. This is a 16-inch strand of these hand-carved stone beads. He's been having them so often because the weather has been changing so much. And these are 11.7 millimeters, so about 11.5 millimeters on the, is that right? It seems like an odd size. Yeah, about 11.5 millimeters. 11.5 millimeters. Yeah, I feel bad for him. There's not much I can do. And because of his reaction to, so he developed an allergy, we believe, to acetaminophen. And because of that, he's worried about taking anything. So when he's been getting a headache recently, he really hasn't been taking a lot of medicine. So he just kind of suffers, which is not great, but he's afraid to take it because when he has those reactions to the pain medicines, they're worse than anything else, and they really affect him. So it's been not easy for him. Oh, I didn't even realize I didn't have my email up. I'm like, how am I going to know if anybody buys anything? Let's see here. Let me get this to the right size. Okay. We sold the TT2. Thank you so much. Those carved stones. Appreciate that. TT3. Let's see. We did these. This was 14 before. I can't go any lower on these. That's a really good price. This is, let me make sure. This is howlite, natural howlite in a faceted drop. Now this one has very little in the way of any of the gray. This is mostly just the white of the howlite, which is really actually kind of nice. There's just sometimes here and there, there's a touch of gray speckle, but you're not really seeing much of the gray at all in these. And they're really nice drops, faceted drops. They're about 8.5 millimeters by about 5.5 millimeters. And this is a vintage strand, and it is a 16-inch strand. So this is rapid weather changes are hard on the system. They are, and we've had them in spades lately. It's just been so much change in the weather. It gets nice for a day. Like it was just 60 degrees, 66 degrees or something yesterday. And right now, what is it saying it is? 40 and raining all day long. Raining all day long. And cold. It feels cold. It feels really cold. The real feel is nowhere near 40. I will say that for sure. TT4. These were 22. I shouldn't even bring these down to this, but we'll bring them down to 18. And I've got 2 of these available, it looks like. So these are these beautiful chalcedony, the dyed chalcedony. There are 2 of them in these little kite kind of shapes. They remind me of a kite. Call them kites. And they're a lovely purple dyed, slight on some, less on others. These ones are non-dyed, so there's a mix on there. And then there's back to the dyed. And these ones too. These are beautiful vintage chalcedony, dyed chalcedony, 10.5 millimeters by about 12, 10.5 by 12. And these strands are 8-inch strands of the kite faceted dyed purple chalcedony. 2 strands available. And I guess if I put the lot number up, that would help, right? I keep forgetting to do that. TT4. TT4. $18 each, only 2 of them available. Donna says, it was like a summer day here in central Alabama. Tonight the low is supposed to be 45. Isn't that crazy? Those chilly, rainy, damp days can be tough too, says Susan. Yes. And he is feeling that today, I think. When I left the house today, he had gone to lay down, which is sometimes, if he gets a rest, that's usually when he does it, once I leave the house. I don't know why that is, but that's what he does. And I was surprised, because normally by the time I get home, he's up and at 'em again, but he was not. He was laying on the couch. And so I figured something had happened. Let's see, this was 12. I'll do 10 on this. Donna says it happens here every year. You get that? Yeah, this is kind of what spring is like, right? But I don't want it to rush right into summer. That's my issue. All right, these are these. Oh, what's Donna saying? I'm so sorry, Andrew's going through that. Yeah, thank you. I'll send him some good energy. I'll send him all your positive thoughts. This is a beautiful strand of shell. And these are just these little shell beads, and they're really fairly similar in size, which is kind of nice. They do vary, but they're just, I think this would be such a cool, just a bracelet even, but you could do a lot of things with this. This strand is longer than the strand actually is. I don't know why. I need to just cut that. But this is a 12-inch strand of shell beads. These are approximately about 11.5 millimeters by about 4.5. 11.5 by 4.5. Beautiful strand of shell. You can see it flashing in the light. There's some good parts on there. Really pretty colors in some of those. Look at that, like opalescence right there. Anne says, we've been having high winds for months and months. It makes the real feel 10 degrees lower than the real temp. Very unpleasant. Yeah, that's what today. It's so windy. And it was, I woke up, it woke me up last night, the amount of rain and how hard it was raining. I think it was last night. I woke up at one point. It was just kind of a little bit scary to hear the rain as hard as it was raining and the winds and then, yeah, of course, everything is it feels so much colder. I don't know what the high was today. But when I was getting ready to leave the house earlier, they said the high was 60. I don't believe that, not one bit. Because when I was getting ready to leave the house, I think it said it was 50 something just in the 50s, but the real feel was like 34. It's like, that's cold. That's cold. That was a quite a difference in the real feel. So it says the winds can be crazy. It's true. It's true. Are we on TT? TT6. What do I got here? Oh, I like these so much. So these were 45. Let's do a really good deal. Let's do 32. That's a good deal, I think. 45 down to 32. This is black tourmaline faceted shields. Actually, no. These are spinel. These are spinel. I can tell. They're flashier and they're heavier. This is black spinel. I have black tourmaline, but it's not in these. Black spinel. TT6 was $45. Now $32 for you all. Beautiful faceted shields. And these are approximately 16.5 by 13. And that strand is about 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches. Black spinel faceted shields. TT6. One strand available. TT7. These were also 45, so we'll also do these at 32. We have the hearts. And these are the black tourmaline hearts. TT7. Love these. I was showing, we have a strand like this, but they're faceted coins. And there was someone that came into the store the other day, and they just loved them. And they could not stop looking at them. So I'm wondering if they'll end up coming back for them. But they were, I think, $35. So these are a little bit less. But love these. Black tourmaline faceted hearts, TT7, and these are about 10.5 by 9.5. 10.5 by 9.5, and this is a 7-inch strand. 7-inch strand. TT7. TT8. All right, these were $39. They are now $28, and you can see they were $39. That was the price way back. These are vintage. These are Hamilton gold. They're a metal plated vintage plastic. And they're these beautiful nuggets. This is a thick coating on these. Sorry, everybody. My throat is, the allergies, I told you, the allergies are getting to me today. But these are big nuggets of the Hamilton Gold, the metal plated vintage plastic. So it's already vintage plastic, and then these have been done. It's vintage time since these were done too. So they were $39 for the strand. Do them for $28. We've only got the one strand left of these. This is approximately 25.5 millimeters by, let's just say, about 18.5 for that particular one, just so you can see size-wise. And this strand is a 7-inch strand. TT8, super cool, super light. So if you want to make some glam earrings with some big chunky, what looks like gold, which looks like solid gold rocks, you can do that with these because they're super duper light. That is TT8. TT8. All right. TT9. I pulled some things because I know some people wanted some, and we had run out during other things, and some of our, especially some of the newer people, but I don't know if any of y'all are out there today watching. So we'll see. Some of this stuff I pulled specifically for people who I know who are a little bit newer to us and were asking things for like total requests. Like somebody wanted more garnets, so I pulled these garnets. Oops, what's the price on these? We had these at 20. We'll do them at 16. I know we had sold a strand of garnets the other day, yesterday as a matter of fact, and somebody wanted more garnets, so found some more. And these are these cool little shapes. Whatever that shape is, there's one strand of these left. Beautiful strand of these garnets. These are kind of the red purpley garnets. Kimberly says, I'm driving, but see lots I like. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Because it seems like a slow night. I feel like it's just a low energy kind of night, and not in a bad way. Like I have low energy and I'm a little bit worn out, but I feel good. Like I feel like I've been productive, but I feel like I have low energy because of that. And I feel like it's just kind of a low key night. So I'm not feeling the pressure, you know, but I did specifically pull some things that I think some people aren't around that I pulled for, but that's okay. That happens. TT9, this one has sold. Thank you so much. I'm just trying to keep it chill tonight. You know, sometimes we have a lot more energy. It's the way we all are, right? Sometimes we have a lot more energy than other days. Yesterday, I had a lot of energy, I feel like. Today, not so much. And I think the allergies are part of it. I didn't sleep great because of the storm last night. And then the allergies definitely are not helping. I can barely breathe, I feel like. Suzanne says, I love garnets. Me too. Michelle says, it's definitely a chill night. Yeah, I just kind of want to hang out with y'all. And then afterwards, like I've been pushing hard to do more in the evenings. And I feel like this evening I need a break, or I'm going to end up with, you know, a headache or something. So I think tonight's going to be a fairly chill night. I just want to make some food, and that's probably what I'll do because Andrew's not feeling good. I'll probably spend a chunk of the night making some good something good to eat. putting some time and energy maybe into making some stir fry or something good like that. Although I may have forgotten to get rice. We may not have rice for stir fry. I have to see now. How much? These were 26. These are sapphires, y'all. Somebody wanted sapphires the other night, and I put them up in the D stash, and the sapphires on the D stash sold. So I found some more sapphires, and I'm putting these up. I'll do them for $22 a strand. These are microfaceted sapphires. Really pretty colors. Blue. It's that blue-gray sapphire. And these are real sapphires. They are microfaceted. TT10, $22 a strand only. Really nice quality. The strands are about 13-inch strands, and they are 2.5 millimeter microfaceted sapphires. TT10, $22 only per strand. 2 strands available. Donna says, the tree pollen here is horrible and I have to take a Kleenex with me when I walk my dog. Yikes. Suzanne says, I have no energy now. Too much painting, I bet. Kimberly's on the backcountry roads. Nice. Michelle says, oh, I have those. They are so pretty. Suzanne says, would they go with the garnets? Let me look. You know, I would combine them, but I'll let you be the judge if you like that. We've sold one of the TT10s, thank you. Look how pretty they are with those garnets. In my mind, I think that's a really pretty combination. You can be the judge. Dale says, my iPad was slow in the draw. I don't know if I got a strand. Dale, you did. You did. Yeah, because I know we put them in the D stash. Was that you, Dale, said in the D stash you wish you had seen them earlier? There isn't much that doesn't go with garnet, says Kimberly. Right? Right. So there's that. That's TT10. I would definitely put them together with garnets. I think that'd be really pretty. And we just sold the other one. So thank you so much. Those are both sold out. I feel like it's a tea night. I'm going to be making some tea tonight. I haven't made tea the last few nights. We've been staying up late doing stuff, and then and up late, I mean like 3, 4 in the morning, which, you know, is not unusual for us, but I'm trying to get to bed by 2. That's like been my goal. And so we've been staying up extra late the last few nights, and I have not, we've run up to I just need to go to bed time, and I've not had time to decompress with my tea and all that. So it's a tea night tonight. I'm gonna make some tea. I'm gonna take my herbs that I take for my tranquil mind and kind of try to chill out a little bit tonight, I think. Dale says, thank you. I've been asking for garnets. Yes, that was me. May have a September birthday. And that's what I thought. So I'm glad you were here. I've been trying to find the stuff that y'all ask for. You know we do that. It doesn't always work out, but we do our best. This is a luxury bead blend that Andrew made. There's only one of these left. I'm going to price it at 10 instead of 12. I think it's super duper pretty for spring. It's great spring colors. It's got those kind of pinks. It's got some pearly colors. It's got some AB in there. It's got some purple. It's got some light blue with the blue chalcedony or blue lace agate. Just a really pretty one. Oh, Delta, sorry, I meant sapphires like garnets. I didn't even catch that. See, my brain, I was thinking, I had the sapphires in my head. I know what I was thinking. I knew what you were thinking too. Just not expressing it the right way, right? So this is a really pretty bead blend. I just thought I'd give it one more go. If it doesn't sell here, I will probably list it in the online store, and we'll list it as a one-off. I don't usually like to do the one-offs because it's a lot of time to just take a picture of one of them, and it's hard to get a picture without having the picture of the full mix that he made, but I think it's really pretty, and I think it'll sell easily in the online store if it doesn't sell here. That's why I'm just like, no pressure. That's how we're doing things tonight, right? Today was long. Today felt long for as short as I feel like it was. I don't know. I feel like it was short and long all at the same time. I don't know how that works, but like I said, I did a lot of errands today, so I wasn't like, I was up at the cottage and back and forth a few times, but I wasn't up there steady. So the day felt short because I wasn't there as much. But it also felt like, it just feels like it's been a long day because I was running around so much. Oh, TT11 just sold. Thank you so much. So that little bee blend, I don't have to put it in the online store. That saves me from having to do that. Thank you. This is an exceptionally good deal. This is the vintage Chinese ceramic. Normally these are $1 to $2 a bead. And Andrew, I think, had put this together at one point. He priced it really well. I'm pricing it even better for y'all by $2, and we'll see if anybody wants these. If not, I will sell them for $1 or $2 a bead. But before I put them ultimately back where they belong, I figured I'd run these once more because somebody may have missed these. This is only $14 for the whole lot of these vintage Chinese ceramic. They're hand glazed. They have all different things on them, and I love them. But you know, and let me give you a size on some of these. The biggest one here looks like 18.5 by 26.5. And what's the smallest one? Probably one of these, right? This little round is about 12. And this little thing, there's only one of these, is about 7.8 by 29.8. So about 8 by 30. And that's TT12. Whole lot of those. Vintage Chinese ceramic in that kind of, what is it, blue willow? Looks like blue willow. TT12 just sold. Thank you so much. Oh, TT13. What else is in my bag of goodies? Ooh, these are really nice. These were 28. I'm going to bring them down to 22 each. And I shouldn't even do that. That's the lowest we've ever priced these. 28 was a good price as it was. But we've got 2 of these left. And these are beautiful strands. Oops, I missed one. Beautiful strands of amethyst. Deep color in these. Like these, they're so deep in color, they like kind of glow. They're really pretty. Beautiful amethyst faceted beads. Like they're almost like an electric purple, but they're not dyed. These are not dyed. These are natural. So they're really good quality. And this is the other strand, just to show you. You'll see they're not, the color is there on these. The clarity is, they're less clear as far as they have some, you know, you'll see some of the cracking and the, what's the word? My brain today. Anyway, they're beautiful stones. If they were as clear as they are dark, these would be like very expensive, very, very expensive. but you're getting the color on these inclusions. That's the word I'm looking for, inclusions. They have some inclusions in them that you can see in there, but the stone quality is beautiful. These are about 15-inch strands. One of them has sold so far. Thank you so much. This is about 8 millimeters by about 10. We'll say 8 by 10. Gorgeous, gorgeous amethyst. Really beautiful. This one's actually a little bit bigger than this one, but they're close to the same size. How lovely. They're just so bright in some cases. I don't know. Rarely do I see amethyst that shines like that. Yeah. I don't know why those particularly do that. I don't know if it is some of the inclusions and the little bit of that it's not cloudy, but it's not as transparent. A little bit of that maybe is making them shine even brighter. I don't know, but they're really, really pretty, I think. Okay, what's up next? How about some lampwork glass? Those are really cool. We'll price them really good. $6. $6. Lampwork glass. And they're these beautiful blue swirly. They have some blue, green, and gold in there. I believe these are dichroic, so they're the harder glass. And these are 24 by just about 23 and a half. Not quite exactly square. But there's 4 of them here. It's about a 4-inch strand. $6. Beautiful glass. Now what do I do with the bag? Lost the bag. Well, do I have another bag around here? That's not a bag. Oh, there it is. TT14, $6. TT15. I think we'll go to 30 tonight. I'm feeling like it's a 30 lot night tonight. Of course, I pulled some things I thought I would have Andrew here for until I realized he wasn't going to be around. These are normally 34. We'll bring it down to, I only have one of these left. Let's give it a good price. Maybe move it on its way. This is one of these vintage sterling silver box clasps. This is a big one. So normally these are around 34. Normally it's 36 to 38 for this size. They're sterling silver, and they are usually set with a stone. This looks like it's set with a button because that bezel is pretty big. So I'm guessing that's a button under there that they used. And they open by pushing down here, and they have a little locking mechanism there. So bringing that down to $24 for y'all. It's a 2-strand bail system on here if you wanted to use it that way. And it's just kind of really cool. Vintage button in there. One of them available. Overall, it's about 1.25 inches. And it is thick. It's a thick little boy. About a 1/2 inch. A 1/2 inch. TT15. $24. Oh, yep, 9 o'clock. My screen went. Let me flick the color back. There we go. Bright colors again. I really need to look at the system setting to change that back. TT16. Let's see. These are going to be, we always do these $2 each. There's 9 of these left. These are polymer clay sparkly beads by Andrew. Polymer clay sparkly beads by Andrew. TT14 has just sold. Thank you so much. That's the glass strand. This is TT16, $2 each. These are these polymer clay sparkly beads by Andrew. He worked his magic, and this is such a pretty polymer clay. It's like, it's not transparent, but it's got that luminosity to it. I don't know what he made that clay out of, how he made that batch of clay. Probably never see that again, but they're really fun kind of teal green color. They're approximately 12 millimeters. Some of them are a little bigger. That one's 14.5. Some of them are a little smaller. That one's just about 12. But we have 9 of them available. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. They are $2 each bead, and you can grab them all if you want. You can grab none of them if you want. But once these are gone, he probably will never make this color in this material, this kind of sparkly thing again, as far as, because I don't know how he made, I don't know if he remembers. He sometimes makes clay like he cooks. He doesn't have a recipe, and so what comes out that time comes out, and he uses it for a batch of things, and then they go away. And so I figured I'd bring those back out again. I've never put those in the online store yet. But that's another thing I did today, is I organized some of my space at the cottage. I was, the shipping materials were starting to overtake everything. And so I had to organize a little bit. And when I was doing that, I found a lot of things like this that that I've never taken pictures of. Some of his stuff and some other things that I had set aside at one point to take pictures of and never did. So I figured I'd run some of them here, some of the things that I can run here, and then the other things I just got to get pictures of. This is fluorite, microfaceted fluorite, and you can see some of that beautiful purple and green. This is really some nice quality fluorite. It's pretty clear for as small as it is, and I'm not sure that it's all, that one doesn't look like fluorite to me in there, but these ones are fluorite, microfaceted, and this is a $10 strand. We did the same price last night. These are about 2 to 2.3 millimeters. And this strand is approximately a 13-inch strand. 13-inch strand, TT 17, $10 for the microfaceted 2.3 millimeter fluorite faceted rounds. 1 strand available. Oh, anybody else got anything to report? Anybody doing anything fun? Anybody? TT 18. I get a little excited for baseball season because of my nephew. Sometimes when they play games here in Ligonier, he plays against Ligonier teams. I get to actually go down and hang out with them and see the games. And it reminds me, it brings back times my brother used to play, and we would go all over when he was in tournaments and things. And I was never really into it much. I always like to cheer him on. Like, my family, we are the family that's in the in the bleachers, like yelling and screaming and cheering people on. And I never even got into sports that much, but you cheer for your family. That's the way we always were. And so, and that kind of comes from my mom. My mom is not afraid to tell an ump when they're not being fair. She's not afraid to yell for her kids when they when they need it. And so we would really get into it. It was kind of a whole family thing. My grandmother and grandfather would usually go, and my mom and dad, and my brother, of course, he was playing, and I would go, and we'd all just kind of go and hang out. And so it brings back kind of those memories. This is about a 9-inch strand of vintage check glass. And this is close to 8.5 millimeter faceted rounds of this kind of peachy color, beautiful spring peachy color in summer. This is great for summer. Donna's following the University of Alabama's gymnastics team. They're in the finals in Fort Worth. Nice. Nice. Vintage check glass, $8 for the strand. One strand left. TT19. What else do I have in here? Oh, these are cute. These are $12 each. There are 3 of them. TT19. These are these bronze, cast bronze dogs. Dogs? Cats? I don't know. They can be whatever you want. Because the more I look at them, I'm like, that might be a dog. But that could also be a short-haired cat, I think, for sure. Like, that face looks more cat-like to me. I don't know. Maybe dog. Maybe dog. Maybe cat. Whatever you want it to be. It's pretty tall for a cat, though, right? It's pretty tall for a cat. Probably dogs. Probably meant to be a dog. But I don't know. Those ears. I don't know. Egyptian dog. I could see that. I could see that. Right? Yeah. Something. Anyway, they're really cute. And they're cast bronze. They are 21 millimeters approximately by 15. 21 by 15. We've just sold 2 of those. Thank you so much. So there's 1 left. $12 each. TT19. Thank you. Oh, we just tried to sell another 2. Is somebody okay with 1? I can't do 2 pairs. It's TT19. TT20. What's next? What is next? Let me see here. All right. This is turquoise. TT20. $10 is what I'm doing it for. Turquoise. It is dyed and stabilized. Dyed and stabilized turquoise. But it's a pretty color. As long as we know what it is, we know what it is, right? And it is a turquoise. It's just been enhanced. Call it enhanced, right? And it's only $10. So that's a good deal. It is turquoise. It started out as turquoise. It's still turquoise. It's just been enhanced, dyed, stabilized. You want it stabilized for sure. This is a 16-inch strand. $10 only. says Egyptian dog. My mom had one. Basenji, the dogs that can't bark. Huh. I didn't know they couldn't bark. I know which ones you mean, but I didn't realize that. This has sold. Thank you so much. Okay. Got 10 more lots to go tonight in our chill, hopefully tantalizing Tuesday. I don't know how tantalizing it is. I feel like I don't have the energy for it to be as tantalizing as I wanted it to be. But we're having a low-key night tonight. To look at these. Okay, so these are a very, very light lavender amethyst. There are 5 of them available. They're $3.50 each. Very light lavender amethyst. $3.50 a bead. 5 of them available. These are approximately 15 millimeters by 20 and a half. I don't know, can you see even? They are, hopefully you're seeing you definitely see the purple in person. I don't know if it's coming across on the screen. But they're super pretty. You can see it on the edges more when it doubles up like that. TT21, $3.50 each. We've just sold all 5 of them. Thank you so much. All right, let's see here. TT22. Anybody new out there that hasn't said hi? Oh boy, just got another boy. Huh. Okay, sorry, that was always something. Just got an email about something which is actually good, I think. Okay, somebody wanted topaz, lemon topaz the other night, and I couldn't find it the other night. Susan says, there are many tantalizing items tonight. I'll see what my budget thinks, right? I get that. Somebody wanted lemon topaz the other night, and we could not find it. And so I don't know if that person is watching tonight, but I found it. And this is an amazing strand. It's a graduated strand of lemon topaz, not dyed, real lemon topaz. This is not a lemon quartz, which is a lot more inexpensive. This is a lemon topaz, and I'm going to give you a really, like the price that was on this was really good. I'm going to give you a really good price tonight, $68. And this is the strand of lemon topaz. They start this size, so here are the 2 ends together. So this is the starting size, and they go up to these sizes here. Lemon topaz, TT22. Beautiful strand. I told you we had a chunky strand of it, and I couldn't find it. I finally found it today, and I wanted to show it. It's okay if nobody wants it anymore, but I thought I would show it anyway. It was $86, which I think is a really good price anyway. But we're bringing it down tonight, just tonight, $68. Dale says, that is gorgeous. I was wanting some topaz. Donna says, OMG, that lemon topaz is gorgeous. Yeah, and lemon topaz is not as easy to find. Even when you look it up, most of the time you'll be redirected to lemon quartz. So you have to make sure that when you're shopping around, that what you end up with is actually lemon topaz and not the lemon quartz. This is a 16-inch strand. You are not going to find probably a 16-inch strand of this quality with the color, the deep yellow color, and the clarity that these have, the transparency they have, for less than that anyway, for sure. Not if it's real lemon topaz. These are about 10.5 by 14 to start, and then the biggest one on here is 13.5 by 27.5. Donna says, I never knew there was a lemon topaz. Some people might call it other things. We call it lemon topaz. You might just call it yellow or golden topaz. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful stone. And we've got one strand of it. And that strand has sold. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And I'm glad you appreciate that good price too. That's one I was hesitant because I started looking at it today. And I was like, do I really, really want to sell it? But I knew somebody asked for it. A few people were actually asking for topaz. And I thought Dale was one of them. And I figured I'm going to show it because I said I would if I found it. And I found it. I got to stick to my word. But it's kind of such a special stone. I kind of... it's a little hard to let that one go. Michelle says, Andrew gave that one up. I know, right? I know. Melinda says, stunning. It is. It is a stunning, stunning piece. It's really beautiful. And it's vintage, obviously. That's why the price is lower. If we tried to buy that now, I can't even imagine that we'd be able to give you anything near that price nowadays. This is another one that's a really good deal. If you like peach moonstone. Not everyone likes peach moonstone, I've found. But if you do, this is from our vendor. They make a lot of these that they come strung up already. And this one has a slidable device here, a little knot. It's not really a knot, but it's kind of a knot. That you can wear this at various lengths with this silk cord on the back. So you can do that if you want. We also sell them at a price that's only $48 tonight, that you can just take these and reuse them. We really price it as a strand of beads, not as a necklace when we do it this way, because our vendor gives us a deal that we're able to do that for you all. But these are beautiful rondelles in peach moonstone. And this is like, look at each one of these beads giving you that moonstone chatoyance. And yet it's not overpowering the color of the stone. They're a beautiful light color. It's a great strand of moonstone if you like peach moonstone. Like I said, I know not everyone likes it. I think it's pretty. It's great for spring. These are also slightly graduated, so they're going from about 8 millimeters up here to about 9, almost 9.5 down here. So TT23, $48, down from $65. I think $65 is more of what we charge when they go in the online store. Possibly even a little bit more than that is what we'll charge. But for now, they're offered to you for $48. And like I said, you could buy that as a gift. This just tells us the carat weighs. It's 236 carats. That's a lot. And they are from India. Our suppliers from India on these. So you could buy it as a gift for somebody at $48. That's a nice gift without spending too much, right? So, you know, if you're looking for something for a really good maybe work friend or something like that, that could be really pretty. Right? $48. One strand available. TT23. Like, how good is your friendship? How good of a friend are you, right? Oh, now I'm getting silly. I'm getting tired. Melinda says that quality is superb. On the topaz, yes. On the moonstone, yes. Both one, no matter which one you're talking about, it is. This is another superb quality. These were 20, and we brought them down a little bit. I'm going to bring them down a little bit more for y'all. Melinda says, not that good of a friend. Right? Depends. I don't know. I've definitely spent a lot more than that on some of my good friends. Some of my good friends got some very nice pieces of Christian Lacroix when I was splurging when I went to France. And one of them enjoyed it and was thankful. And one of them was like, why did you buy this for me? And I was like, because that's what we do. And anyway, that was a gift that that shouldn't have been. That was one that should have been not that good of a friend. This is smoky quartz, and look how beautiful this smoky quartz is. TT24 just sold 2 of these. There are 3 available. I should have put that on here. There are 3 of these available. They're $14 each. We've just sold 2 of them. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Beautiful quality smoky quartz, 8.5 millimeter rounds, and these are 16-inch strands. Susan said, Michelle, no spoilers, but the new Curse of Oak Island episode is a must-see. I need to get on that, y'all. Apparently, it's something to... Y'all are watching that. A lot of you all are watching that. Let's see here. TT25. Oh, don't go out screen. What's in my bag of goodies now? Oh, these are fun. We've shown these before, I know, but we're down to just a lonely 2. These are normally, we do them really cheap, normally at 18. I'm going to take them down to I can't go much lower than 16 because they're so nice. They are so nice. Lena says, I have a friend who ignores my birthday for 3 to 4 years, and then the next year will get me a huge strand of tourmaline out of the blue. I don't mind. Yeah, that's good too. That's good too, right? Donna says, I love Curse of Oak Island. Melinda says, yes, I love Curse of Oak Island. I need to see what this is all about because I don't know what y'all are watching, and I need to, I think. This is stunning carnelian, vintage carnelian drops. And I know some of y'all don't like the drops, but the quality of these, they're vintage carnelian. It's such a good quality stone. Like each of these is so pretty with beautiful patterns and colors. There are 2 strands available. They're $16 each. And normally, like I said, we have these at 18. That was, I think, the good price that we just put on there for you all at one point. Hello, Vicky. Thanks for joining in. But really, these should be like $24, $26, $28 strands. This is a really nice quality carnelian. Vintage strands. If I put these in the online store, they would definitely be more than this. We've sold 1 of them so far. Thank you so much. This is a 16-inch strand too. 16-inch strand. Vintage Carnelian. 2 of them, well, 1 of them now available. Thank you. Get in there. Oh, even my back's hurting just sitting here. That's how you know I'm worn out today. Let's see. What's up? What's up next? Oh, this one's cool. This was 56. I'm gonna go down to I'm gonna go down to 42. 42. This is, look, if you like this kind, like I love this kind of stuff, and I keep threatening to take this strand, but I just haven't had the inspiration yet on it to keep it. But it's like these shards, and this is serpentine. I believe it's serpentine, and it's these green shards that are just all different sizes, all different shapes. I think it's such a funky strand, and I love this kind of stuff. I love these odd, irregular things. And part of me wants to really do something with this. I just haven't figured out what I want to do with it yet. And I keep offering it in the hopes that maybe somebody else will put it to good use before me. This is a full 16-inch strand. Melinda said, I've been in Chattanooga all day. I'm exhausted from traffic. I bet. Traffic is the worst. Well, one of the worst, right? Lennis, that happened to me, except it was a bookstore gift certificate. My friend has too much on her plate, so I understand. Melinda says, I like to touch serpentine. It's just such a good stone, and it feels like it's soft. Like the way they've done it, they're soft, right? It's kind of like this frosted. I love these. TT26, $42. They range wildly in size. So you're looking at around 30, and then width-wise, 12.5, let's just say. But that's, you can see, it ranges wildly. Donna says, I love odd and irregular shapes, but I'm very broke. I get it. You gotta get your shows, make some of that money back up, right? TT26, $42, 1 strand available. If it doesn't sell this time, maybe I'll try and do something with it. It's just a strand. I don't know if I'm going to use enough of it that I should take it apart. Maybe I'll sell it in little pieces. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll split it up into smaller strands, and I'll take one for myself, and we'll sell the other ones as smaller strands of it. That's an idea. I don't like to do that too much, but every once in a while we do, and people seem to like that. Digging through. I know I had, oh, yeah, some nice pearls in here. Okay, TT27. These are vintage freshwater pearls. Beautiful pearls. This is little ringed. Look at the color. Look at those rainbows. You got that rainbows on there. Beautiful pearls. Vintage freshwater. Was $26 for the strand. We're going for $22 for y'all tonight. I love when we can give a little discount. And these are approximately 6.5 millimeters by let's say about 9, 6.5 by 9 millimeters about. Yeah, 6 by 9, 6.5 by 9, and let me make sure that's, yeah. And this is a 16-inch strand. TT27. Beautiful vintage freshwater pearls. Alright, TT28. TT28. This is a cool, I don't know if we've had this on recently or not. 24, let's do it for 16. Lamport glass. Lamport glass. This reminds me of the beach. I think that's what it's meant to be, right? It's got these like kind of sand encrusted rondelles. And then it's got these kind of oceany creatures in the blue water. I really like this strand. I also like that it's on the pink pipe cleaner because I think this goes so well with pink. I would love to see somebody do something with it with pink too. But this is TT28. Bring it down to only $16 for y'all. Give you some sizes on it. It is 13 millimeters for the rondelles. This is about 21 millimeters for this by about 24.5. Vicky said that's fun. Isn't it fun? And it has sold. Thank you so much. You never know what people are gonna like, right? I like that, but TT29. 2 more lots to go. What do I got in here? Let's see. What did I do with that? Let's take some of this one off of that. Oh, come on. Where are you? Oh, let's do this. Let's make it cheap. $5. This is a dyed agate. Looks like it made to look like a bumblebee jasper, right? That black and red, or yeah, black and red, black and yellow. But these are drops, $5, dyed agate, and I think they're cool. It's just a little shorty strand of them. This is about 6.5, 7 inches. You get 6 beads on there. And Kimberly says, you said beach, so I had to go for it. This is very beachy too. I'm kidding. This is 15 by 21.5, TT29, and that has sold. Thank you so much. That's a good little deal, $5. Good little deal. And the last one for tonight, we're going to go to 30 tonight, TT30. And what should I bring out tonight? I was going to take these apart. Should I take these apart? Yeah, this I need to take apart. It's going to be too expensive if I do them together. Well, maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Okay, let's do this for 32. I'm just gonna, before I take this apart, Melissa's next total request, I need garden quartz, please. What is garden quartz? Garden quartz. I have to look that up. It says, yeah, I sent an email on those Bumblebee too. Let's see here. Whoops. And okay, so this is made into a necklace and a bracelet. It's unstretched. These are giant Kazuri beads. And they normally, I don't even know, I haven't looked up what I would sell these large ones for. The smaller ones are like $2 to $3 normally in our store. So I'm going to do this whole thing for you all. If somebody wants to buy it before I take it apart for $32. And I think that's a really good deal because I think these are going to be $3 to $4 a piece. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of those. And then some of these larger beads. And then, of course, the wooden beads in here. So I think it's really worth the 32. I think it's worth a lot more than that. It's just sold. Thank you so much. That means I don't have to take it apart. Because I was going to take it apart and sell the beads separately. But sometimes it's just easy to sell it together if somebody wants it. So there it is. I probably, that was kind of probably a gift because those are probably worth double that, what I could have gotten selling them individually. But like I said, I don't have to do the work now. It's up to you who got it. So thank you. I appreciate that. We appreciate all of your support tonight. Let me flip this camera around real quick, and I'm going to say some stuff, and we'll talk a little bit, and then I'm going to go and make some dinner because I'm getting hungry. Hello, everybody. Whew, bright. Vicky says, I have heard of garden agate. Garden agate, but garden quartz? Sue says, there are so many varieties of quartz. Yeah, I'm going to have to look up. Let me see. Garden quartz. Garden quartz. Andrew would be able to tell you probably like right now if he had it, but because he's not here, I'm going to look. Images. Oh, okay. We've called that something else in the past. I feel like we've had that. But it's called something else. Lodolite or phantom quartz. Lodolite or phantom quartz is what we've had it. And I don't know if we have any more. We have sold it on the live before, Lodolite and phantom quartz. I might have some, because the phantom quartz is oftentimes kind of, I think, the more green that you see. And we have had some of that. I have to look and see if I still do. Kimberly says, William, did the faceted garnet sell? They did. Yes, they did. Linda says, yes. Yeah, so we've definitely had it before. I have to go through the stash to see. I still have a bunch of stuff I have to put back to from a bunch of live shows. And so I'd have to see if I have any more of the phantom quartz. Because that's what we've called it, phantom or lodolite. I've never heard it called as garden. Nolan says, yes, has green in them. They are so powerful. Yeah, I think when we did them, we sold them by the piece. They were pretty big chunks. And I think they were tumbled. We sold them by the piece. And I think we did a good deal on them. I think we did a really good deal on them. We usually do, because they were vintage, and they came to us at a good price. So yeah, some of y'all probably got those, probably remember those. And the Lodolite or Phantom quartz. Lodolite? Is that what I said? Am I right? Yeah, Lodolite Phantom. Yeah, they are beautiful. I've never heard them called garden quartz. That's interesting, but I can see why. I can definitely see why. But yeah, I'll take a look around. We'll see. They may show up in a live. They will definitely show up in a live again if we find them. But anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Melissa says I paid $60 for a small tumbled. For one, we sold them for like probably at most $6 to $8 a bead. They were beads. They weren't like giant tumbled, but they were, if I remember correctly, they were kind of like this size, which is probably a $half size, and they were like for a 12-inch strand. Yeah, that might be about right then, because these were like a $half size, and we were probably charging $6 or so a bead for a 12-inch strand there, Spendy. Yeah. That probably would work out to about what we were charging, but we were allowing you, I think, to buy by the piece instead of having to buy a whole thing. Suzanne says, I have one that looks like an eel. Nice. Yeah, so we've got a lot going on this week. The sale, though, the online store sale ended yesterday, so hopefully you got in on that if you wanted to. We do appreciate all the sales. We did have a nice influx of sales there, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much for helping us with that. That's part of that we're going to try and set aside and for our possible honeymoon together in Italy, at least for Andrew's trip to Italy. We're saying I'm going to go too. We're just saying it. So excited about that. We have our creative make-along this Friday. So 7:30 to 9:30 on Zoom. We have our creative make-along. If you're on our email list, you should have gotten the email today with the link for the Zoom link and a reminder. If you missed out on that email, if you're not on our email list yet, what are you waiting for? Go join. Go to our website and join the email list. There's a links page in our email and our website menu. So if you go to the menu and you go to links, you can join up for our text message list. You can join up for our email list there as well. Plus you can find us on other social media places too. But yeah, that's going on. And I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. Oh, the D-Stash. The D-Stash, we ended, I put up the last batch of items last night, late last night, or early this morning, however you look at it. And that is open to claiming until tomorrow night. So Wednesday night at midnight Eastern time. I will not look at any claims after that. So if you see something you like in there, that's Andrew Thornton Project D-Stash on Facebook. If there's anything you see you like, go claim it before tomorrow night. All right, y'all? I'll try and remind you too in tomorrow's live. Yeah, I'll be here at the end of tomorrow's live. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Please send good vibes for Andrew to feel better with his headache and migraines he's suffering from. And I will see you here again. Well, Andrew will start out tomorrow, and then I'll see you after my pottery class. I'm hoping to have some of my new pottery pieces that I glazed last week. I glazed 3 new pieces last week, and I'm hoping they come out of the kiln. They've come out of the kiln this week. We'll see. And hopefully it looks good. But who knows? I'll show you tomorrow if I get them. All right. Thank you all so much. Have an amazing evening. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for all of your support. We are so grateful for every one of you out there. And if you have any questions, as always, please just send us an email. info@allegorygallery.com is the best way to reach out, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Sometimes it takes us a little time to research something, but we'll get back to you as soon as we can. All right. Have a great one, everyone. Thank you again. Bye now.